Hello everyone, Nigat here, and welcome to another match of LittleWarGame. Today I'm bringing you a game that was played on Ravaged between bScherm, playing with the red pieces in the top left corner of the map, versus his opponent, Langweilig, playing with the blue pieces in the bottom right corner of the map. It's been a while since I posted a replay, and I'm excited to get back into it. If you notice kind of the pattern of uploading videos that I've had over the last couple years, April, May is usually about the time of the year where I'm able to have a little bit more free time and thus able to get to making more and more LittleWarGame content. And summers are very exciting for me because that means I get to have even more free time getting to play these games, playing in tournaments, but specifically seeing how players are developing. With that being the case, I do plan on posting additional content, so if you guys could leave, continue to subscribe and then continue to like my videos, that would be amazing. I also remember the last video I posted was between me and Mr. Meow Meow, where we talked about some of the AI creations that he was doing, and I was really hoping to get 50 likes on that video, and that was something that I was able to achieve. So if you look back at that video, it has, I believe, over 50 likes at this point, and that is something that I'm very excited about for this YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and get into the game. Looks like Langweilig went into this beast opening, and bScherm is going for a similar opening. Decided to kind of put it in his base. Perhaps that's to kind of confuse Langweilig. Should Langweilig decide to scout around bScherm's base, let's say he doesn't want to chase the wolf here, then he kind of see that there's no expand, or at least there's no SimCity to expand here. And that might confuse him, but looks like bScherm, I'm actually going to call Langweilig. I'm just going to give him a nickname here and just call him Lang, because I think that's going to just be easier to say here. It does look like Lang and bScherm are deciding to go for this expand. I kind of want to check how many wolves bScherm decided to go for before he decided to expand. It looks like he went 13 workers, 3 wolves, and then was able to expand, and now he is producing a 4th wolf. So more wolves behind it. bScherm is able to kind of get this full scout of what his opponent is doing and not losing any wolves while this is all happening, which is very good, very good. Also looks like bScherm decided to go for that extra worker, so it does look like Lang will have the faster expand, the faster castle placed. But bScherm is mining a little bit more, and I wonder if we can take a look at the income. Yes, so because of that additional worker, bScherm is able to mine about 70 gold extra. That difference might come down, especially as Lang is now mining on 2 bases. Do love this move that bScherm is going for here, where he's continuing to scout with his wolf. He's just checking, making sure that there's no fortress. He knows exactly how many wolf dens his opponent is going for, and as a result he decides to build an additional wolf den here. Wants to make sure he's safe. He's pretty safe on just the 1 den, and it looks like both players are cutting a little bit of production. bScherm on 6 wolves, Lang on 4, both getting a good amount of scouting. Very interesting to see both these players. bScherm, very strong, very solid player. Someone who essentially started playing a year ago and has already kind of distinguished himself as one of the upper level players in LittleWarGame, especially with the amount of coaching that he's been getting from Haffy and practice games with the upper level players. Langweilig, I'm not exactly sure. I think this is actually my first replay of seeing him. I've never played him before, but it does look like he's holding his own and is now going for this 3 barracks or 3 wolf den play. bScherm just still on the 2 and is now getting that 3rd with upgrades. both relatively even. So from bScherm's point of view, he does see the fact that there are 2 wolf dens. He hasn't scouted the fact that a 3rd has made, and he does know that snakes are on the way. He should have been able to scout the fact that this snake charmer pit was created, and now he does see that the snakes are not only teched but also created at this point. So bScherm's probably going to have to start thinking about what he wants to follow this up with. Normally snakes, a couple snakes mixed in with this wolf ball will typically beat any just plain wolf army. So bScherm's going to have to be very careful about how he wants to play this mid game out. Both players sticking to their 2 base economy, and then bScherm going for those upgrades at the same time, which is very good to see. bScherm also, being very diligent to keep this wolf alive. If you look at his vision in that mini map there, you'll notice that he will pop down his vision every now and then just to check that this wolf is going well. Zoomed in just so you guys can see that mini map just a little bit better, and it might actually be a better perspective for the replay here. Snakes coming in. This is where we kind of have to be careful because now we have a ton of snakes, and if we just have snakes versus wolves, those wolves typically do well, especially when they're able to hit those snakes over a long period of time. However, when you have those wolves as the buffer unit, those snakes do get the space and time to output a ton of damage. bScherm just sticking to his wolves, kind of hoping to see some tech out of bScherm eventually. He is able to scout the fact that there is a 3rd den, so he does know a little bit more about the production. He doesn't realize that it's 4 den at this point. So that could be very interesting. 4 den is usually very scary. It's a scary amount of production. You're able to get a lot of economy with that, but bScherm is also going for a bit of an economy play of his own. Decides to not build any workers at the moment, and instead we're just focusing on our production, so getting the 2 extra dens, keeping our upgrades up, keeping our production up, and then being able to make a play very soon here is going to be very important. At the same time, he is scouting around. He's looking for any hidden bases. At the same time, if we look at Lang's vision, it does look like he's kind of turtling up at home, making sure that he can get this 3rd base up, which bScherm is able to scout the fact that it's open, and he does see the fact that it is pretty much mass snake. So I know for myself, if I see this kind of composition and I know that it's just mass snake, I am probably looking to transition into mech as fast as possible. Catapults do a pretty good job at stopping snake from approaching. They do have only 90 HP, and catapults are able to 2 or 3 shot that, if I remember correctly, and in combination with these wolves should be good. bScherm does have the +1 attack upgrade, so these wolves are going to be very deadly, but again, these snakes just at this moment do look like the better tech. bScherm having to move back. I'm curious to see if he's building a tower or any sort of tech. Doesn't look like it. At the same time, Lang is starting to go for upgrades of his own, building the 2 animal testing lab and going for this deadly push. bScherm able to scout or able to flank, getting on top of these snakes with the +1 attack upgrade is going to shred into these snakes very quickly. This is definitely not what we want to see from Lang. We definitely want to make sure that our snakes are being safe, and as a result we do see that a lot of these snakes are being shredded, and bScherm coming in with that perfect flank to quickly eviscerate Lang's army here. If we take a look at the supply difference, bScherm is on 90 and Lang is trying to get his supply back up, currently on 65, so it looks like a 30% advantage for bScherm. At the same time, bScherm is deciding to go for his follow-up tech, which is going to be this fortress in his main base. Looks like he's going to go for dragons, or at the very least, maybe some wolf speed if we see that Snake Charmer's Den. Looks like bScherm distracting with some wolves over at the natural while trying to get some damage in with these wolves here. Basically stopping the production. bScherm knows that if he can keep the production advantage at this point of the game, that he should be good to go. Gets another flank onto these snakes. The first half of the fight wasn't too good for bScherm, as these snakes were able to get a lot of damage in. But as we are going to see, a lot of these snakes die to the +2 damage wolves. We'll see that the snake's efficiency do start to go away, but it doesn't look like there are enough wolves to completely knock that snake army out. And as a result, we see that both bScherm and Lang are now on 70 supply, about 70 supply. We do kind of need to see some more production out of bScherm, and he recognizes that as well, getting the additional wolf dens. And then I actually, if I was bScherm now, I would be prioritizing armor upgrades. The reason being is that the base damage for snakes is not very high, but their attack speed is very, very high. And every time they attack, if you get that armor defense for each attack, that's a considerable amount of damage that the snakes won't be doing anymore. So if I was bScherm, I'd probably... And he recognizes it. He wants defense upgrades because he knows he's going against mass snake at this point, and getting those defense upgrades is gonna be exponentially more helpful for these wolves to stay alive, and to kind of reduce the efficiency of these snakes. That was a really amazing decision from bScherm here. And at the same time, he follows it up with dragon lairs. So dragons should be on their way. bScherm does decide to go for a little bit of an aggressive push out with these wolves here. I'm not sure if I approve of this, because bScherm is the one who's teching up. bScherm is the one who needs to just stay alive. He doesn't need to make any aggressive plays at the moment. He's getting the 4th base, he's getting his tech, he's getting the upgrades, he's getting his production settled, and he's trying to continue to expand and set up his economy. There's really no reason for him to be making this sort of aggressive play when he's got like so many factors that would give him an advantage, except for his current standing army. Whereas once these dragons come out, we'll see that bScherm does have a little bit more advantage. Okay, loving the fact that these wolves are able to get a bit of a separate fight where the snakes weren't completely together. At the same time, Lang is using this opportunity to essentially double expand behind this. bScherm coming in with the flank, reinforcing snakes behind this. Dragons helping with the damage output for these wolves. Snakes doing minus damage against flying units. However, that has been slightly changed since the new patch, and now we see that bScherm has snakes of his own and is able to start cleaning up this army that Lang has. Lang having about 80 supply at this point, whereas bScherm has 90. So definitely a clear supply advantage for bScherm, and as well as a worker advantage for bScherm, having almost 10 more workers than his opponent Lang. This is also a difficult tech for Lang to deal with now. He's going to have to set up his defenses so that he can defend against dragons. Snakes are a little bit better at defending against dragons now that they don't suffer as much of a penalty from attacking flying units. But the mobility of these dragons is definitely going to be a problem for these snakes, especially as they're not the fastest units in the game. And dragons can kind of dance and kite around at bScherm, kind of macroing things around, sending this run by as I'm kind of looking at his vision. And I'm sure these dragons will be able to escape very safely. And Lang, seeing the fact that he's about to get run by, and seeing the fact that these dragons are going to get a considerable amount of damage, decides to leave and give the good game over to bScherm. That was such a fun replay to cast. Both players playing extremely well. Lang having this very exciting snake army. bScherm doing some very dynamic moves, making some amazing decision making with getting these defense upgrades, as well as getting his production up and then going into that tech was really nice to see. If you ever want to see more LittleWarGame videos, make sure to subscribe and please leave a like on this video. My last video got above 50 likes. If we could get 50 likes on this video as well, that would help super much with the YouTube algorithm. And I will see you guys in the next one.